25 Most Personal Overheard Conversations. According to Reddit. Number 25. Worked in a national chain family restaurant in a small college town. Often work Sunday mornings, and after the wave of families from 9 till noon, you start getting the hungover college kids. There were a lot of payers in there that were clearly one-night stand hookups that you can tell someone said, well, at least let me buy you breakfast. A lot of avoiding eye contact, staring at phones, and with awful sex hair and makeup from the night before still on. No judgment though. They were getting more than I was. Walked up to a couple figuring out where they could get a plan B. I realized that and tried to do a sharp turn to a different table. It seemed like a personal moment, but they noticed me make my beeline, I think, because they were really seeming embarrassed at the rest of the meal. I definitely could have done it smoother.
Remind me what this list is about? I was getting everything ready because you sprung this on me.
What is getting everything ready?
That means putting the mic where it usually is.
Do you have like a news anchor jacket for when we do these or something?
Of course. You got it for me yourself.
Right, Stripes, right.
This.
Look, man, I'm not allowing you to paint any more pictures, figurative or literal, about how things go down. And I most certainly, for clarity, did not buy Stripes a news anchor jacket for when we do these lists. What a world she lives in. Number 24. Walked up to the table to hear, before I knew it, I had a dick up my ass, was getting double penetrated and was blowing 2 guys at once. It was some of the best sex I ever had. I really need to hook you up with my brother and his friends. The other woman responds, as long as he brings his friend with the monster dick. I could go for a few days of not walking right. They order, I bring out the food, and I hear them discussing who fisted them the best. It must have been a joke, man.
Ugh. No, yeah, it has to be.
It must have been a joke. We talked openly about that in public. Yeah, I get it. I made your comment before you made it. Yeah, I am Kyle. I'm the best.
You are the best.
I'm kidding. Number 23.
No, you're not.
What?
No, you're not.
No, I'm not, as in I'm not the best?
No, you're not kidding.
Oh, you're right. I'm not kidding. Number 23. On the other side, we were out to dinner one time with my husband's parents, and generally speaking, we all get along great. But that night, for whatever reason, my mother-in-law decided to vent every single thing bothering her about us in the middle of dinner, loudly in the middle of the restaurant. It was baffling and irritating because nothing she said was really valid or fair, and it was excruciatingly embarrassing since we're both introverts to have everyone staring at this ridiculous display she was putting on. Father-in-law said, "Dear, let me just take you home and we'll talk about this later." And she loudly huffed, "Yes, I don't have to sit here and eat with the men with them when they're being so disrespectful." And then they both just continued sitting there, and the waiter awkwardly tried to give us our salads while she's glaring and huffing, and my husband and I and father-in-law are just awkwardly sitting there. She went on another rant, going just in time for the waiter to bring the main course, and it was again excruciatingly awkward. And this is the one event is now why I do everything I can to ensure we meet places in separate cars, because we'd driven to their house and then all gone to dinner together in their car, so we were horribly trapped during the whole mess. I don't know how much, if anything, specifically personal, the waiter overheard, but you could tell he was cringing so hard from the discomfort of the whole situation. He'd been a nice chatty waiter too, but the second she started ranting, it was like he was just being tortured by the secondary embarrassment, just like we were. Man, old, middle-aged ladies, motherfucker, they're just miserable, and everybody got to get miserable too. This sounds awfully familiar, says somebody. So what great crime were you two of you perpetrating in her eyes? The crime of not being good enough for her son. Oh Lord. Number 22. 2 adults and 2 teenagers, woman and a girl, one side of the table, and the man and the boy on the other side. I just assume it's normal family out to dinner. Walk up after some time to take their order, and they are all deep in conversation. Turns out they're not related. Yet. They are discussing what to do about the boy getting the girl pregnant. Oh, damn. Yet. Shotgun Mary. Stop being an idiot into a microphone, Kyle. Isn't that my job? Oh, I got the wisecracks for myself now. What are you good for, Stripes?
I guess I'm not good for anything.
Absolutely nothing. Whoa, Stripes.
Wait a minute.
Good God, no. What is she good for? What happened?
What are you doing this list for now if you're having mic issues now?
What do you mean?
I thought you were having mic issues earlier.
No, it's just the cable. I'll figure it out. It'll be fine. Like, it's working now, so don't worry about it. Number 21. I served the table for a dad and his girl around 8 or 10 years old. You really delivered that funny, Kyle. Okay, hold on. 10 years old. I served the table for a dad and his girl 8 or 10 years old.
No, stop. You need to talk like Weber.
Who the hell is Weber? I'm doing this properly. We're this is
like Mitch and Weber is Weber.
I don't know who the hell Weber's Weber is. Is this real?
Yeah, it is.
Who?
Mitch and Weber.
Oh my God, Mitchell and Webb?
Yeah. What did I say?
You said Mitch and Weber.
Well,
I don't have time to make fun of you properly for all of this, okay? I served the table for a dad and his girl around 8 or 10 years old. The girl wasn't who I would call a regular, but she came with her mother and carpool club enough for me and my coworkers to recognize her. He took her to our fun family-owned all-American chunk of cheese slice / dinner and ice cream parlor place. Fuck whoever wrote this. He ordered the biggest sundae for her and a water for him. And before the ice cream arrived, he broke the news of the divorce. While they were occupying a huge booth in the corner by themselves, her friends were having a birthday party at the other end of the restaurant. Oh my God. He ordered a huge 4-person sundae. I was already interested because she wasn't at the party. I came back with this novelty-sized festive sundae, and as I sat it down in the middle of the table, the father nonchalantly announced the divorce. I was ordered away. He pulled out a newspaper and let her sit there crying in front of a melting mountain of ice cream sundae. After they left the birthday party, Mother asked me what was up because she was supposed to be at the party, but they didn't join. I didn't tell her about the divorce, but said that they just got some bad news. The girl never came back. My favorite moments at that place, though, was the few times no one shows up to little kids' birthday parties, and I went all out and made up for the empty seats and gave the kid ridiculous VIP treatment that would have made a Red Foo proud. I usually lost money using my own funds, but it was always worth it. I had one parent call the next day to thank me and said that their son thought the party was planned and that way, and he loved it.
Oh, that's sweet. That's really sweet of her to do.
Fuck this guy. He's like jacking his own dick off. What does this have to do with like walking into people's conversations, though? Yeah, he's like, oh, however, guys, you know, I'm a pretty great guy myself, ladies. You know what I mean? It's just like, come the fuck on. All right. This is not like, it's not your segue into how great a guy you've been in your past. I use my own money sometimes, you know, it's not a big deal. Ladies, if you want to come back to my place, maybe have a one-night stand, maybe sort out plan B the next morning, you know. Fucking stupid.
I figured this was a white girl, not a dude, though.
I think of it as a dude. Oh, here we go. Someone's been gilded 6 times. This ought to be good. What?
I don't understand announcing divorces. I feel like it's a very private thing to be handled.
It's not he didn't announce the divorce. He basically brought the bitch out to a public place, sat her ass down, was like, look, we getting a divorce. So, you know, here we are in this place right now. Go ahead and collect your thoughts so that the initial time that I'm announcing this shit, you aren't given a platform to make a scene. That's why people go out in public, is to trying to diminish the bitch factor. The fact that she was crying, Stripes, makes it serious. Do you know what I mean? She didn't like react in a big and crazy way. She probably saw this coming for a while and knows everything that's going into the reasons for the divorce. Maybe she is the reason that the divorce is happening. We don't need to lose sleep wondering what the hell's going on in these corny ass people's lives. Let this dumbass BuzzFeed wannabe Facebook bullcrap be its own little bullet point on a corny ass list about, yeah, I was walking by a table and somebody was getting a divorce. Oh my god. You're the only one who's like, now wait a minute, okay? And then you pull out your magnifying glass. Listen, our response to this reads, I would like to learn more about your heartwarming VIP treatments. Oh no. I would like to unsubscribe from this guy's newsletter. It's been gilded 6 times, so I feel like I have to read this. But I already don't care about this guy because he's interjecting this in this could be the most made up thing in the world. Who are they? Okay, no, I'm going to read it. Okay, I'm going to read it. Fuck this guy, all right? On weekend nights, there was karaoke and the DJ, so I would set up the black lights and a small portable strobe in the game room. I would let the kid help me blow up extra helium balloons in the back with me. He's probably just warming them up so he can kidnap them later or arrange favors. You know what I mean? This is the kind of guy that we're talking about. And we would put it in the tiny flashing light up the sticks and what? We would put in the tiny flashing light up sticks that people sometimes put in their mouths for raves. Oh my god.
Has there been an Amber Alert lately, Kaya?
There was an Amber Alert yesterday. It was probably this guy trying to steal a kid. Whatever amount of prepaid tokens the family bought for the party all went to the kid. I sometimes bought more if it was a low amount. I worked there long enough to become an expert at hitting jackpots on the games and a master of the crane game. So we would make it rain tickets. We'd make it rain tickets. It would only take a few minutes for that kid to have a random... okay, Jesus. It would have a few minutes to... I'm having a heart attack. It would only take a few minutes for the kid to have any random kids there to join in on the party. Let me read this again. Because sometimes when I read, I get ahead of myself. And my brain tries to make sense of things and autocorrect them before I get through them. Okay. It would only take a few minutes for that kid to have any random kids there to join in on the party. But if that didn't happen, I would make their ice cream wishes come true. Okay. Depending on the age of the kid and how many tables I still had to take care of, I would let a few kids with parents' permission, of course, to go behind the prize station and run the ticket counter / eater. I tried to make sure that the kid always ended up with enough tickets to get a big prize off the wall. I had a secret stack of tickets that I had prepaid for the secretly tipped slip stashes into the pad and a number for some kids. I retired from the workforce in my early 20s, but that was the only job that I had that I would do again in a heartbeat. There were too many days I would spend all of my tips on kids, and I was the reason why the company that stocked the Claw game started to really pack them in tightly because I won the prizes at a higher rate than intended. Hilarious.
You'd think he's trying to get with his mom, because no one's this cool. No one does this without any. I just don't believe there's people like this who are truly this selfless, and maybe that's just the pacifist in me. I mean, the did I say pacifist?
Yeah.
No, I meant pessimist.
You're right. That's the word that applies. And I'm just as pessimistic because I maybe cynical is the word better describing me, because I don't believe this shit. I don't believe that he's, I mean, maybe to a certain extent, but I feel like there's a bit of embellishment here. And the way that it was interjected, kind of like nobody asked in the first fucking, my God.
It's
my
like
God.
He's putting out his birthday out there to strangers.
Let me get the hell up here because I'm fucking losing my mind out here. Number 25. Okay. No, wait. Did I start there? This is a situation here. Number 25, number 24, number 23, number 22, number 21. Oh, Lord. So this is number 20.
All
I walked up. This is where it gets real, guys. Everybody listening to this list going, man, this guy's crazy. No, this is where this is a real list now. Number 20. I walked up to a table that wasn't mine to drop off an appetizer. Me. Hello. Here's your mozzarella. Guy proposing to his girlfriend. And then me, sticks? Turns and runs away. You think you get people? You think you get people involved if you're taking your woman out to a restaurant to propose to her? You think you'd get the staff or something involved in some way, so people aren't just strolling up going, "Here's your mozzarella." They didn't even have. She was delivering appetizers. Why was he delivering appetizers at the time that he proposed, son? Why don't you like an end of the meal after the main course type deal, or maybe in the middle of the main course when she's stuffing her face? I would love that if she's just like, you know what I mean? She has something to spit out, like it's a spit take in a fucking, comedy show. You know what I'm talking about? Wow.
I can't see this, but I can already tell this is poorly written. So just keep going.
So somebody else says, why would you propose in a shitty cheap restaurant where the servers wear jeans and t-shirts and you throw peanut shells on the floor? I am forever a part of their engagement story. Well,
wait,
there it is. What?
There's a restaurant with peanut shells on the ground. That sounds familiar.
You think?
I feel like I've been there.
You think there's only one restaurant where peanut shells end up on the floor?
I didn't know it was a common thing. Why do you do it? Why would you do it? That sounds like a mess.
It is a mess. Number 19. Well, I had a table the other day that was celebrating graduation from rehab, where you go when you're trying to get off whatever crazy ass habit you're on, like women. But I didn't walk into the conversation, they just told me. Someone else had graduated the month before after getting hooked on meth. It felt pretty personal, but they had been drinking and felt like revealing, I suppose. I congratulated them, of course. Good shit, guys. They even tipped all right. Number 18. I watched a kid, probably 13 to 15, coming out to his parents. Wow, got to give him a ton of credit for doing that in public, but you could tell his dad was about to flip his shit. Mom looked sad, but was really supportive. Just never expected to walk up to refill a glass of tea to hear a kid coming out to his house family.
I don't know if...
Coming out to house family.
House family. I guess he means either them or a close family.
You could tell the dad was about to flip his shit, which is exactly why they did it in public, says a person responding.
I don't know if 13 is old enough to decide what you are exactly.
Mom, Dad, I like penises. I've sucked a couple of them, and that's the way it's gonna stay, man. Maybe vaginas someday, but don't think that this penis sucking's just gonna stop. Okay? I'm 13 years old. I like to go to Kyle streams and say shit that maybe will make Stripes ban me, but I'm gonna say it like this, Pops. Even if I get into a diggly wiggly deep vagina hole, I am not gonna stop slobbering all over these juicy 13-year-old knobs. I'm 13-year-old subscriber. Woo. Fuck you, Dad. I've brought you to this restaurant today.
What? 13 years old. You gotta think about that, you know what I mean? It's just like,
Mom, Dad, I'll be paying for the meal. Please, waiter, please give us some time here. Okay, I was in elementary class the other day, and
I'm kidding. I think 13's what, like middle school? Who knows? I don't care.
13.
I don't care. Guy, you should draw that. You should make a scene out of that.
Mom,
I was being so quiet so people can either make this their ringtone or I can animate this later.
Oh, whatever. Listen, number 18. I once had a waitress make our situation super awkward. I was out at a dinner for lunch with some college friends. It was pretty quiet and we were the only people in our section of the restaurant. We are a happy, upbeat bunch and there is always a lot of laughing and good-natured ribbing. I can't remember how we got there, but our waitress ended up going into massive detail about how this was just a part-time gig for her because she really wanted to get into interracial porn. Specifically Jewish guys. Because they are according to her, hung like a miniature pony.
I didn't know that about Jewish men.
She says that it drags on the ground when they walk.
Ew.
Is that what she believes? She just went on and on about it. She was not in the least bit attractive, and we completely lost our appetites. Then she asked where we went to college, and she quietly delivered to-go boxes and our check when we told her we were all seminary students. Oh my God. My God, my God, my God.
Interracial Jewish porn.
Interracial Jewish porn, man. It just gets better and better on these lists, huh? You got 13-year-olds coming out as gay to their pops.
Look, Pops, I'm fucking gay. You're gonna have to deal with that shit. Also, gonna get into that interracial Jewish porn, Dad. Interracial Jewish porn, it's 2016, Dad. You can't tell me how to live. It's not a phase. This is what I'm into. Also, I like Linkin Park now. What are you gonna do about it? I'm goth. I'm goth, Dad. Come on, come at me. Check out my Tumblr. Okay? Do not just... These are the pronouns you need to call me from now on, okay? I am Butterslice.
Butterslice, is that a good name for him? You like the way I just kicked in with that bass in my voice? I just snapped right up. Butterslice.
I'm
I'm
Butterslice,
sorry.
Dad. What's the big deal, Dad? I'm Butterslice.
Butterslice. What?
I need to
What's so funny about like
Having a high voice because I'm Butterslice. It's not a big deal. They call me Butterslice.
No,
butter
I'm sorry.
slice?
I need to check if that name's taken on Twitter, so I can change it to my name.
Nobody listening to this better take Butterslice. That's the best. That's the Butterslice. Listen, number 18 walked over to basically an intervention where the family was yelling at the dad to stop writing prescriptions to people who didn't need them because he was going to be caught. He was in denial and they gave no fucks, and I was standing right there. Wow, dude. Look, if you go through school and you want to write prescriptions to whoever you want, man, you earn that right. I'm kidding. I don't condone that kind of shit. But hey, man, I'm just saying, if I went through school that about, you know what I mean? Holy shit, man. Maybe it's a perk that comes with the job, but maybe you should make sure you don't get caught for it. Maybe you should get caught. Okay, look, it's number 17. I didn't walk in a conversation. Aw, poor guy. You know, maybe he was in a wheelchair. Stop being an asshole, Kyle. I didn't walk into a conversation, but I had a business lady proceed to have a meltdown. Yeah, lady meltdowns, that's what it's all about. She started to cry because she yelled at her kid. He was laughing and being a happy boy, but I was in a rush to work, so I told him to shut up. I told her he would forgive her and suggested that she should explain to him that she was having a rough morning. She hugged me and told me that she was going to take the rest of the day off and spend time with him. Nigga.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
some
actually nice.
ladies just reach a
It
point where they're
didn't
just gonna, you know, fall apart over some corny ass shit. And I guess that's what she needed that day.
You need to shut up. Why, Mommy? Why?
Do you think he ever really thought about it after like the first 2 minutes when they parted ways? He forgot about that instantly.
Maybe he killed
honestly.
himself. A lot of kids are killing themselves these days because, you know, the parents are fucking up. You know what I mean?
She was dwelling on it more than he
Look.
ever would have.
There isn't a mom out there that hasn't made at least 10 to 15 really, really bad mom decisions to their kid that could jade them in a way that will literally have long-lasting effects on this kid's life. Here's what you got to understand, especially with a lot of single-parent homes. Certain things happen to children that they have no other basis for. You know what I mean? We have the internet now, so kind of we can probably look out and consider what may be socially acceptable. But especially back in the day when people were like me were growing up, you guys had no other basis. Maybe you visited a friend's household and you could see how things were going there. But let's just say you were coming up in a house, you didn't have a lot of outside exposure. Your dad beats your ass because he's mad and you're his outlet. Your mom is constantly yelling at you and blaming you for things that aren't your issue. You're the scapegoat, you know what I mean? And like, you can't have a certain amount of fun in her presence because her existence ain't fun, so why should yours be? If you grow up, you're probably going to think that these things are essentially the norm and pass some of that shit on subconsciously, son. So parents do, unfortunately, realistically, and perhaps not deliberately, fuck up their kids. And I say this to say this, right? Somebody's like, oh, I told her that the kid would forgive her. You know what I mean? The kid doesn't even understand the complexity of some of the madness that's going on. This is a hormonal bitch having literally just like a bottle that shook up. with too much shit in there and it's about to explode. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the final straw that broke the camel's back. I'm sure there were other elements that made her, as crazy and hormonal as she was, but the bottom line, something broke it, and she had a reaction on this boy. Did he deserve it? No. But you know what it's like? It's like you have two kids, one kid does something bad and you snap on the other kid for it. That kid don't deserve that. So I like to be jaded, and I like to look at things in a kind of I told her he'd forgive her type way. What if she got home and the kid was dead? Is the kid gonna forgive her then, Stripes? Number 16. While a guy's girlfriend... What?
It's just, I don't think she was abusive in this case, but just on the other side of that.
Oh, yeah, neither do
like,
I. I'm not saying that she was abusive.
No,
I'm just saying
not
most
saying
parents,
you're not,
yeah.
but it's just, on the other side of that, I do think that people that grow up in I guess, an unsupportive or abusive environment, they do want the best for their kids, like better than they had. Maybe they make the conscious effort, but yeah.
Some people, sure. You know what I mean? Some people, sure. Some people become bigger people,
Sure.
But some people can only dispense what they've received. It's all that they ever know, and it's all that they will ever know. So we look at it from a logical standpoint and think to ourselves, we better make damn sure that we don't get some of the crippling and unfortunate, unrealistically short-sighted and narrow-minded type bullshit that we had to endure as a child. You know what I mean? To allow our child to thrive in a way that we weren't perhaps able to because of all of the real barriers and restrictions placed on us that at the time wouldn't be viewed as restrictions. They would just be viewed as keeping you safe and shit like this. You know what I mean? The bottom line is some people, hey, especially if they were abused, to the point where mentally they may not be operating in their full faculties, are just ignorant. Some people are straight ignorant to the point where because they don't know better, all they can do is travel down this one path as if there is no other way. And that's the bottom line. But hey, we don't need to get bogged down in why some people are crazy and shouldn't have kids, baby. Because those people that shouldn't have kids make kids that shouldn't have kids, and those kids do the same thing. And one child stood upon the cliff face and said,
I will not have a child and make them endure what my mommy and daddy made me go through. I am the childener.
Starring Antonio Banderas. I'm sorry, you don't know who that is, do you?
I don't know who Antonio Banderas is.
Man, the chat's gonna eat you alive. They mad that I'm going off on this bullshit, but woo! She doesn't know who Antonio Banderas is. What?
Is he a Mexican actor?
Is Antonio Banderas Mexican? I can't say that he is, man. I can't say that Antonio Banderas is Mexican. And the real question that anybody watching this right now that is probably just invested in the damn list would ask is it relevant? Is it relevant? Something called a Windows device audiograph is forcing the CPU on my friend's computer to go maximum. And if it were my computer, I would end the task. But it ain't my computer, and I ain't fucking shit up. You got me fucked up. Number 16. While a guy's girlfriend was in the bathroom, I started a conversation with him about his tattoos. Okay. They were super colorful and well done. It turns out that he had one done of himself. He pulled out his phone to show me some nice work. Oh, he had done the tattoos himself. Yeah. Okay. He pulled out his... Jesus Christ. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
He pulled out his phone to show me some of his other work, and he was swiping through his gallery, back piece, arm piece, leg piece, POV video of him fucking his girlfriend.
Oh.
Okay. He was really giving it to her. Her tits were bouncing, and she was screaming. And he shut off his phone real fast. We both acted like nothing happened, and his girlfriend came back to the table, and they ate quietly, left quickly, and tipped amazingly. I never saw them again. He wanted him to see it.
You really think so?
Yeah, he wanted him to see it, especially she was a nice girl with really nice big titties, tight waist. Some people get off on that kind of stuff, showing it off. Nice angle, too. The angle of the dangle was nice. The angle of the dangle is directly proportional to the heat of the meat.
The angle dangle is... I mean, the dangle angle is never good.
You don't know that. What do you know?
I do.
No, you don't. It depends on who you're dealing with. Some girls really got it. You don't know that, do you, Stripes? You don't know that some girls got it going on from every angle. It's almost demonic. Like they sold their soul for that banging rack. That perfect. Why is every video turned into this? What's wrong with me?
What's wrong with me?
Number 15. Knew a guy when I worked at the local mall who was a waiter at one of the restaurants there. Party of 6. Mom, dad, grandparents, teenager, and a kid. And he is taking their orders, and the dad gets a call on his cell phone. Their oldest son had just gotten into a head-on collision and died instantly. The entire group immediately went into shocked, explosive sobbing, apologizing for causing a scene, and quickly left. Damn, son. I don't mean damn like son, because the kid... Can we move on, Kyle? Number 15. Me and your sister are in love, and I want a divorce. Oh, shit. Strange enough, they didn't have dessert.
Oh.
Why did you add that? Come on. Strangely enough, they didn't want dessert.
Well, inquisitive minds need to know, Kyle. Did they leave without dessert, or didn't they?
But did they have dessert, though? But did they have dessert? Number 13. Is it 13 or 14?
You would know. I can't see shit.
Like I have numbers next to these. Okay. When I get the computer and I get Skype again. But we can't do this shit on Discord.
Do you need me to keep track for you?
No. Because you probably do as good a job as that as you do at establishing banter with me during these videos. Hi-yo!
Oh my god, you don't need me.
That's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's good-natured ribbing, right?
No, you succeeded at making me feel like crap.
Oh my god, I am teasing. Do not phone in this female crap right now. Number 14. Oh man. I feel it happened to me all the time. Once when I was young, a 16 to 8-year-old girl telling her mother she was pregnant, her mother just could not believe it, couldn't wrap her mind around it. Instead, there is no way the girl is not a virgin, and she needed to go to the doctor to figure out what was wrong. The poor girl ended up in tears. Clearly, she was already frightened and needed help and guidance. And the mom was like,
I can't believe it. We're going to the doctor. This can't happen. This baby's going to be immaculately conceived.
Watched a few couples break up. Usually they manage to keep it together and just sit angrily until their meal is finished. But one time, one of the parties just sat there sobbing. I brought her an ice cream when her newly ex-girlfriend left, and I usually steer it into the skid of awkwardness during breakups by keeping an especially upbeat and happy tone. Well, good on you for trying. We had a regular who brought dates to the restaurant all the time. We thought he was single until he brought his wife in, and one of the servers said, "Who is this one?"
Oh,
right in front of the wife. I couldn't believe my ears at the rude question alone, but the wife's facial expression made it clear. She picked up on it, and when the husband introduced her as his wife, I immediately had to get out of that awkward situation. Who do you think you are, bro? You need to pull out your camera phone and let the good times roll. You know what I'm talking about? Honestly, if I were ever in public and something crazy went down, man, I would pull out my phone and start singing the Happy Days theme song. 1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. Everybody look at me and I'd be like, I do the whole keep going thing with my finger. You know what I mean? I'm not even here.
No, Kyle, you'd become the spectacle.
Oh my god, I'd become yeah. To be honest, I don't think that there's a situation I could be in, even if it was a fight, even if people were that intense, that I could just get behind my camera phone and go, here I am, and here we have these two people, and they'd be like, what? Who the hell? Who is this guy? I'd be like, don't worry about me. Just continue what you're doing here. This is for my YouTube channel. You're giving me consent verbally right now. Yes, thank you. Okay, there you go. And then I'd be monologuing about how no news stations can use this video and everybody just needs to post links to my YouTube channel. Fuck you guys. You know what I mean? Oh my god. I apologize, people watching this, because this is just
I wish you'd make a genuine apology to everyone you've hurt.
Fuck those people. No one's hurt by me. Everyone hurts me. That's what they do. They tease and they prank and they lie and cheat and catfish, and Oh, they make fake accounts and harass me in my streams. You know, the real tragedy, Stripes, is that some of us will never receive the type of respect that a dead monkey has on the fucking internet. I want you to think about that.
If you say his name, you know I will leave.
Nigga, get the fuck over Harambe with your punk ass. Number 12. I once served a man and his adult daughter. She was begging him to give her mother a second chance. I gathered from the bits of conversation I heard that the mom had a pretty serious mental disorder, but the dad and the daughter admitted that the mom was not at fault. But dad was a broken man after living with this for so many years. It was so heartbreaking. I tried not to eavesdrop, but this was a small cafe and the table was very close to my barista station.
Very close to my barista station. Give mom a chance. She's shitting her pants.
That's not funny, Kyle. That's not funny, and you don't know the nature of her mental issue. But she's probably deteriorating. This is probably one of the scariest and saddest ones here, because it's not some kind of bullshit relationship problem that people probably could have helped. You know, this is somebody that's falling apart, like their faculties are just withering, like a flower. That's
I mean, I
unfortunate.
guess it's rude to make assumptions, but I'm under the impression that she might be schizophrenic or something.
Schizophrenic. No. Okay. Number 11. Once I was delivering drinks to two ladies and I caught, I hate that bitch so much, I would fuck her boyfriend and piss her off. I just don't care if I get an STD. Damn. I hate her so much, I would fuck her boyfriend and piss her off. Man, I wish I had friends that hated, me so much that they'd fuck me.
I hate you, Kyle. You stupid bitch. Come to the fucking bedroom, you fucking douchebag.
Number 10. I had someone wave me over to take their order while their fellow guest was in the bathroom, at which point she burst into tears and told me that she was getting a divorce. A voice. Oh boy. I'm getting a divorce. Stripes doesn't like that. Damn. Why are you so mad at my divorce line, Stripes?
I just expected you to trip over another word.
What word?
I don't know, a bigger word.
Oh, just a bigger word. I don't know a bigger word. Oh, Stripes. That's that quality banter right there. Somebody's going to want to isolate that banter right there and then just play it as like a ringtone because it's so funny. Stripes.
I don't know, a bigger word. I don't know what you want from me. God.
At which point she burst into tears and told me that she
Wait.
was...
Are you talking to me or are you reading it?
I'm reading it.
Oh, I thought you wanted me to burst into tears.
Oh my God. Number 10. I had someone wave me over to take their order while their fellow guest was in the bathroom, at which point she burst into tears and told me she was getting a divorce. Her mother had just called and she was about to be fired and she wanted the grilled salmon. Honestly, I had no clue what to respond apart from, how well cooked would you like it? Poor woman, still wonder about her and hope she's alright. Jesus Christ. Number 9. When I was a busboy before I started serving tables, I went to drop off food to a middle-aged couple. Right when I dropped the food, he served her divorce papers, saying to sign the divorce right now. The next hour consisted of them sitting there quietly sobbing into a cheeseburger. Oh, that poor lady.
Wait, her or both of them?
Cheeseburger in paradise. No, her. Just her.
Man.
Number 8.
Bad for these ladies, but I guess they, like you said,
They know what was coming.
Yeah.
Not in the food industry anymore, but when I was at the table that consisted of young teenage boys and his parents and his girlfriend, I'm not sure how they got to this point in the conversation, but it came up somewhere between ordering their food and the food being ready that the boy and the girl weren't virgins anymore. The table was a mess of emotions for the rest of the night. The fury of the father and the disappointment of the mother, the defiance of the son, and the mortification of the girlfriend. I'm not sure why they didn't leave immediately to sort it all out at home, but they stayed the whole meal and made things awkward for everyone. God forbid, you know what I mean? They couldn't have been that young. Jeez. People fuck. What do you want? And they're doing it younger and younger these days. After all,
I'm 13 fucking years old. My boyfriend called me butter slice, and it's because when I slice them pants open, okay,
No,
I slick it up like a buttery, slick it up and down. Yeah, it's just it's just, like you won't need any butter to get it out of there. I'll get it unstuck by ya. And call me butter slice.
Butter slice. At any rate, a response to this last crap that we just read said, "Did you hover around and offer objective advice to each party?" Well, like a cartoon. I can't believe he did that. You know what I mean? Like, somebody else says, "Nah, you conspicuously pick up the bread dipping plate and say, I'll bring back some regular olive oil." Get it? I'll bring back some regular olive oil instead of virgin olive oil.
Oh, I didn't get that part. Sorry, I didn't know there was virgin olive oil.
That's another thing that they're just gonna, somebody is making a list of shit to tear Stripes apart with one day. I didn't know there was virgin olive oil. You know the crazy part, guys, is she's not playing. She is not making this shit up. Like, I found Stripes, the diamond in the rough. Number 6. One of the owners of the hotel was showing off by having a fancy dinner in the restaurant with some of her friends. She seems to think that the staff were some kind of inferior species and would barely acknowledge us whenever she was there. So I wasn't surprised when she kept talking as I was clearing things from the table. What I wasn't expecting is for her to say, "I really can't wait for my mother to just die." She would never let us sell the hotel, but as soon as she's gone, I'm getting out of this business. I can't wait to have all that money. Then they all laughed. The thing is, I knew her mother very well, since she was always pottering around the hotel. She's an adorable 80-something-year-old woman who treats us all like her grandchildren and would always remember who we are and what we were doing in our lives. She wasn't even ill or anything. The old lady had been the one who built the family hotel business from the ground before turning it over to her daughters when she got too old to work so hard. I was obviously disgusted to overhear that. You should have recorded this slut. That's what I would have did. You never really...
Everyone was laughing. It's not that she's a terrible person. It's that everyone around her is just as terrible as she is. I can't believe it.
The top response, Stripes, is actually, you never know how a person treats their children when you're not around. After all, she produced a child like that. I didn't expect that to be the top comment, though.
I've been around a similar situation. There was this sweet old lady I used to live next to. She's not around anymore, and that's really sad. But she had really shitty family. Obviously by now, she had completely paid the rent of her house, and her several children of hers were squatting in the house, and eventually they kicked her out of her own home and sent her to a retirement home, and they kept her home. This sweet old lady, there was beer everywhere. There was beer in my backyard because her kids kept having parties in her house.
Well, that's what happens. Sweet people can bear terrible children, and I'm sure terrible people can bear sweet children too. We've been over this in this very list. I'm getting really hot, so we need to hurry this up. Number 5, an elderly couple sat down at a table in my section once, and the husband obviously had some severe health issues. He had an oxygen tank and a nurse with him, so I guess he decided to confess to an affair during World War II with one of the nurses in Germany. The wife was a little teary-eyed at first, but forgave the guy, saying, "We've been married almost 75 years. You think I'm going to let the past ruin it all now?" Oh, boy. We're old as fuck, Gerald. I don't care about the divorce. I just want the life insurance. Oh, my God. Well, number 4, maybe. Oh, it's actually number 2. There you go. Get over it. Slightly different, as I was a barman of a hotel, but still relevant. A guy was drinking at the bar by himself and almost grumbling and talking to himself. As a top barman, I asked how he was and if he's had a good night. He proceeded to tell me if it has been a shitty night and that his mates had been fighting and that he had had enough, so he came to the hotel. He then said that he just wanted to go home and see his 6-month-old daughter back home. However, this is where it gets odd. He told me that he could not go see his daughter as his wife had stabbed him in the back. Now, I'm thinking his wife cheated on him, but no, his wife literally stabbed him in the back. I didn't believe him until he removed his shirt, and there it was, a freshly bandaged wound, possibly a week or two old. I had no idea how to console a man that had been stabbed in the back by his wife, literally. Jesus Christ. Somebody else says my story with a similar beginning. As the guy grumbling and crying a bit, I could ask if he was okay or if he needs anything. He starts to tell me how much he misses his wife. The guy was in my bar a few times, so I knew him and had no idea he was married. We get to talking about the whole thing, and it turns out that on his honeymoon they went skydiving. Her parachute didn't open. It had been 3 years, and that night we talked was the anniversary of the tragedy. Wow, dude. White people like jumping out of airplanes. Anyway, so let's go to the last one. I'm sorry, that's not funny. You don't know these people. I mean, people are dying every second right now. You guys don't. You guys aren't paying your respects to all the people that died in the time that I read this video. But you can pay your respects to me. I'm kidding. Listen, number one. Let's give it a little more attention. Number one. What's funny? I don't know. The most uncomfortable conversation went something like this. I'm like being like a douche YouTuber like you like, Stripes. 3 top middle-aged men in suits. Me. Hey, welcome to TGI McChilibees. You guys doing okay tonight? One of them. Not really. We just found out that our brother just died. Me. Well, shit. Here's the drink menu. Aww. A response to this one reads, I had a table once who drove into town and hadn't gone to the hotel yet and told me that they came in for their mother's funeral and they had their teen kids with them. It was sad. I didn't charge them for their extra drinks like sour cream and stuff. I made sure they were taken care of and I just listened. One time I had also had a table who came back from her chemo, and it was just a few months after my great-grandmother died of cancer. I paid their bill and told them someone else had covered it for them who already left so it wouldn't be awkward. You know, somebody gave them gold. That's really sweet, man. Chemo's a terrible thing because cancer is a terrible thing. And way to end the list talking about cancer. Thanks everybody again for their crazy and amazing contributions. Kadito, Regina, Proper, Super Monkey.
Last night you invited people to send you emails. What kind of emails did you get?
I got none as usual, so I guess they just want me to keep doing whatever I do, which is even sexier and kind of them. Expect a lot of shit when I get my this laptop here, and it'll just be probably till like the end of the day I can order it, because the money is moving from PayPal to Pickle. You guys take it easy. I love you, and hopefully this was something enjoyable. And you know, Stripes is gonna end it with something comical because that's what she's here for. Stripes, over to you. Stripes, over to you.
I can't believe you bought me so many paper bags to hide my ugly face with.
I didn't buy those paper bags. I just saw them and was like, you know who could use these? You know who could use these paper bags? You can't call back to last video. That's cheating, okay? You sure you don't want to talk about Butter Slice and how he's like your new hero?
No, I just wanted to change my Twitter name to that, and I'm still wanting to do
that. Stop trying to make Butter Slice live. He lives in our hearts, okay? We don't need to mention him. We don't need to kill him. We don't need to take it crazy town like Harambe. Let's just let Butter Slice be the... Can you imagine? Would you be proud of a 13-year-old who's like, I'm fucking gay, all right? And he's on the table.
No, you listen to me, Dad.
I was asexual until I was 16. I don't understand people that can decide other... Like, I feel you should be asexual until you're at least 14 or something.
I don't know about all of that, Stripes. The internet's a crazy thing. The internet is a crazy thing. Stay asexual, guys, unless you have, like, perfect bodies, in which case share them, you know? Love you. See you later. I should probably... I'm never gonna change.